The Museum of Asian Art is located in the Dahlem neighborhood of the borough of Steglitz-Zehlendorf, Berlin, Germany. It is one of the Berlin State Museum's institutions and is funded by the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation. It houses some 20,000 Asian artifacts, making it one of the largest museums of ancient Asian art in the world. The museum is located in the same building as the Ethnological Museum of Berlin. The museum houses important collections of art houses of South, Southeast and Central Asian countries and art from the Indo-Asian cultural area. For the 4th millennium BC to the present, its geographic reach covers regions in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, the autonomous region of Tibet and Xinjiang of the People's Republic of China, the Southeast Asian countries of Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and also the Indonesian islands or archipelago. History. The collection originally belonged to the Ethnological Museum of Berlin, founded in 1873. From 1904 it was known as the Indian Department. On November 8, 1906, by government decree, Wilhelm von Bode, Director General of the Royal Museums of Berlin, founded the collection of the Museum of East Asian Art in Berlin. Germany's oldest museum of its kind, it was first located on Museum Island. As a result of the 4 German Turfen expeditions, from 1902 to 1914, the collection was expanded to include Central Asia. In 1924, the exhibition was moved into the building belonging to the Arts and Crafts Museum, which at the time was also home to the Museum of Pre- and Early History. The Society for East Asian Art, founded in 1926, has provided substantial support for the museum's work. Thanks to the consistent expansion until the Second World War, the collections were among the most important in the world. During the Second World War, there were regrettable losses, partly due to damage to the museum building and partly to the removal of a large number of artifacts to Russia. After the war, the Red Army took about 90% of the distributed collections to the Soviet Union as war booty. They were taken to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, where they have remained until today. Only a few pieces were returned to Berlin. The almost complete loss necessitated recreating the collection, but this could only be achieved gradually. From 1952, it was the Pergamon Museum that exhibited East Asian art. At the instigation of the first director, Herbert Hartel, the collections were presented as part of an independent Indian art department, later called the Museum of Indian Art. After the Berlin Wall went up, it was decided in 1970 to build new exhibition premises in West Berlin in the Zehlendorf district. After the fall of the Berlin Wall and German reunification, efforts were made to reorganize Berlin's museum scene. In 1992, the 2 separate collections were brought together in Dahlem. The Association of Friends of the Department, the Society of Indo-Asian Art Berlin, was founded in 1993. It publishes the annual Indo-Asiatische Zeitschrift collection. The collection covers the art of all of South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia, with special focus on sculpture and murals. The artifacts date from the 3rd millennium BC to the present day. The permanent exhibition contains stone, bronze, stucco and ceramic sculptures and stone reliefs with Hindu, Buddhist and Jain subjects, as well as murals, clay sculptures and textiles from Buddhist complexes on the Northern Silk Road, and Indian miniatures and craftwork from the Islamic Mughal period, sculptures of stone, bronze and wood, as well as ritual objects from Nepal, Tibet, Burma, and Southeast Asia. Complete coverage of the Indo-Asian region. Special sections include the Gandhara art collection and a replica of a Central Asian Buddhist cave with a large section of the original. The Gandhara art displays include artifacts from the Swat Valley, The museum, with an outstanding collection of some 20,000 artifacts, has examples of stone sculptures, reliefs, bronze and terracotta works representative of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Much of its collection of Jain art and Hindu sculpture dates to the classic period of the Middle Ages, and the museum also contains reconstruction of Indian temples. The East Asian art collection houses the largest and most important collection of Chinese, Korean and Japanese art in Germany. It consists of some 13,000 artifacts from all cultural periods, from the Neolithic to the present day. The three countries of the Asian subcontinent are first presented separately in their own departments. Their galleries converge on a central hall exhibiting the art of Buddhism, a common element in all three cultures. The Chinese department has a large exhibition of porcelain, considerably enriched by Georg Weishaupt's collection, as well as lacquerware. Over 3,000-year-old bronzes, jades and ceramics attest to the country's early civilization and culture. A porcelain cup from the Wanli Emperor's time during the Ming Dynasty is of outstanding cultural and historical significance. In a separate room, a 17th-century traveling throne belonging to the Kangxi Emperor is exhibited. Its unique rosewood screen has rich pearl inlays with decorations of golden lacquerwork. With selected examples its China-Japan gallery, the museum presents the art of writing, common to all areas of East Asian art. As many works of Chinese and Japanese writing and some of the old paintings are particularly sensitive to light, they are exhibited for periods of 3 months before being replaced. The same applies to many items of lacquerwork and textile art. However, as a result of ties with Japanese woodcuts and the museum's important graphic collection, new relationships and priorities constantly emerge. In the Japanese department, visitors are shown a Japanese tea-room aboki, a study collection that offers interested museum visitors the opportunity to experience an in-depth insight into the collection. A central repository for the collections is being planned in Berlin Friedrichshagen. Services. By appointment, the Japanese tea ceremony can be observed. A reference library is open exclusively to experts. An interactive computer program and alternating short films complement the presentation. The courtyard, which can be reached from the basement, presents a stone copy of the East Gate of the famous Stupa from Sanchi in central India. Associations. A tradition of close cooperation exists with the German Society for East Asian Art, one of the museum's 2 supporting associations. At an international level, the museum cooperates with various non-European art museums, as well as with the Museum Rietberg in Zurich and the Musée in Paris. In the scientific field, the South, Southeast and Central Asia collection and the East Asian art collection are closely connected with the neighboring Free University of Berlin. For example, museum director world.The is also professor of East Asian art history at the university. The merger of the 2 museums has been done with the future expansion plans of the Stiftung Preußische Kulturbesitz, and to establish the Humboldt Forum on Schlossplatz in Berlin-Mitte, a new concept venue for unique European collections. Gallery.